A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to the Vlog-A-Thon 5.0. So here we go today with number 5 in this season. What I have to talk about specifically is, honestly, there's probably too much I have going on all at once in regards to my content. So let's talk a bit about each and every individual series that I have going on right now. And we're going to start off by going all the way back to 2013, when I came up with the idea to talk all about Nerf Secret Revealed. Because nowadays what's going on is that the series itself, the franchise Nerf Secret Revealed, pretty much went from just a basic web series where I talk nothing but Nerf related secrets that have happened and leaked a bunch of stuff all over to the world. And then of course there's basically a feature-length film that I made that was more or less just an adaptation. One that could have gone a whole lot better if a lot of things had been fixed. But let's not forget the facts here. I've stated before that Bolts of Intrigue will in fact be getting sequels. Yes. As of mid-2021, I had in fact greenlit the project, and I've even gone as far as to create a few key scenes and even some flashback moments. Not to mention the intro, outro segments, and credits to the whole film. So Nerf Secret Revealed Part 2, which will in fact be called Nerf Secret Revealed Ambiguous Ambition, will basically center on years after the events of Bolts of Intrigue, after the defeat of the enemy, a clone of myself, entitled The Dark Magic, had been defeated. And now I'm basically joining up on a 10-year anniversary special with my old high school. I'm basically just myself in the movie itself. And it'll continue to be it that way with the sequels and other such media that relates to the franchise in general. In terms of how the rest of the franchise has gone, in more recent years, I essentially created another web series based on Nerf Secret Revealed known as Afterthoughts, a period in which I go on an in-depth review of various Nerf blasters in my collection, and I've even showcased the in-film trope known as the Invisibullet, an illegal modification of a Nerf dart, complete with invisibility, which allows for muzzle flash to be non-existent and also allows for a noise reduction, greatly reducing the chances of an enemy spotting me. Now, if you've seen Bolts of Intrigue for yourself, it's been in action for a long time, and then of course the lore surrounding it still has yet to be complete, but of course internet wiki pages and other such things will eventually be a reality. Until then though, there's still a lot of work that I have to do on other stuff as well, so do be sure to keep a good tab on that stuff for the future. But of course, other than Afterthought, I actually created my own series which is inspired by Random Shadow 09 and his long-running series of videos that relate to Nerf blaster performance. In other words, he simply shot darts and other such ammo into the distance and measured the length from the starting point to the points where the darts land. I basically made my own series after he pretty much went dark after 2017. He technically hasn't really made any new content in a long time, so I feel like that the only thing that I would have to do at this point is to just simply honor him by giving my own personal take of the whole thing itself, while at the same time utilizing much newer blasters from 2018 to the present as a means to simply continue this sort of thing. It's much like how with the real Ghostbusters, they give us a nice little continuation of the story after the first live-action movie. So the thing is, Distance Gauge is up and about with 67 episodes currently around, but I actually plan on creating a second season for this next May, so do be sure to stick around 2023 when that actually happens. As for anything else, there probably aren't a whole lot of ideas that I've come up with. Although there actually is going to be a series that I will make, which will entitle to the many things that I've done with the original Nerf Secrets Revealed web series from 2013 to 2020, and with the many projects that I've had to take out for various reasons. There's been a lot of episodes of Nerf Secrets Revealed itself that never made it to the channel. 373 episodes in total across 8 seasons are currently up and about, but the thing is, I plan on creating a separate series which will be dedicated to all of the lost content that had never made it to the channel. There's tons of them too. 102 episodes will most likely be the number that I'll stick around with. When that does happen, it probably won't really be out for a while, but I will probably at least greenlight the project itself just so I can be able to work on it. In the same way that Distance Gauge Part 2 is going to be around, and maybe I'll even have a second season of Aftershots, so I can pretty much do the same thing. Continue with certain series. Anything else I have with Nerf Secrets Revealed would probably not really be all over the place. Maybe other than a reboot series, which could probably be a long time from now because I have yet to come up with anything good. More or less, I might need to sharpen up some of my skills in order to make it a potential success. After all, the original Nerf Secrets Revealed was sort of the backbone to what my original success was like, and also with the amazing viewership that I've gotten from those videos alone. Probably the most famous one would be when I've talked about the Nerf Nuke by ThinkGeek. And I pretty much was the guy responsible for leaking evidence that the Nerf Nuke is actually fake. It's not a real product. It's something that they made up themselves for April Fool's Day 2014. And so, that's just what I'd have to say about that whole thing. So, I'm still really grateful for the incredible viewership that had come up from that video alone. And as for everything else, there's not really a whole lot to talk about here on that part. Nerf Secrets Revealed has certainly been, in the long run, for almost 10 years. And seeing that I have a lot of expansions to it, and a lot of other potential success that'll be thriving off of this series alone, it's no wonder why I do have the tendency to really put pieces together that you might have never thought of. And so I suppose that just cuts it for good this time. Now, in terms of everything else, when discussing my content, I will have individual times to talk about this stuff, including HWH and GWK, but I will, in fact, have plenty of other stuff to talk about as well. So, Vlog-A-Thon 5.0 is, in fact, going to be a huge, huge endeavor for me to go down. In the end, I'm sure hoping that someday I could probably follow up on this as well. A 6.0 would probably not be a bad idea. But considering all the time that I've put together for my other projects, it could probably take even more than just 2 years to get to. But when I do get to it, Vlog-A-Thon 6.0 will probably be really massive, to say the least. And with that, that's all I have to say on that. So make sure that you follow me on social media and also like and subscribe. Everything else, leave it all up to me.